Iox. And I should post in this one. And there. Unfortunately, I have turned the game music off. We should still have other audio. But I got dinged for copyright, so...
After the empty house in the cyclones, Iox felt positively busy.
And also, like, my throat is very sore from I was singing for hours yesterday. And so I'm probably going to voice act less. Which is a shame because there's lots of dialogue. And it's pretty good dialogue all told, I think. Let's see the professor. Aaliyah, you're back. But I don't know if I want to ask what you found. I'll tell you. If you're ready to hear it. Did we find a crystal? Let's start with that. We found a crystal. Renba found it first and left it on Maezi. For you. The same crystal as was in that brooch. And where is he now? We don't actually know that he's dead. I don't think we know that he's dead. He's dead, Professor. His ship blew up as he tried to leave an off-river moon. Interesting. You're certain? We are quite certain, Professor. Did you go anywhere except Maezi, Aaliyah? We followed his trail. That's how we found his ship. It will be in my full report, Professor, but Renbar appeared to be investigating an abandoned hermitage off-river. And you followed him. What did you find there? Someone had lived out there once. We found a ruined building. A hermit from Maezi, I think. Nothing more? Oh, I think I should show her the crown. There was the crown, of course. A crown? Let me see it. This is what we found on that moon. Beautiful. Do you know what it is? Something from Iox's past? There was only ever one crown on Iox. If this is the Emperor's crown, Iox would never have parted with it. I can imagine you lifting this from the ashes of the last Emperor himself. And yet Renba found him, a roboticist. I wonder how he did it. So, is that it? What's the matter? It's an excellent find. You've done Eox proud. What about Renber? Renber didn't find this. You did. Aaliyah, this is your moment. Off you go and enjoy it. Professor, have you ever heard anything about an ancient observatory? That's a curious question. I met this robot on the ruined moon. It gave me a message I didn't understand. To find an observatory. Mistress, I was not aware of this. Interesting. Please, Aaliyah. Leave me to think, my dear. Okay, let's go do something else. One last thing, Aaliyah. Tell me honestly. How are you finding your new companion? Are you working well together? Why do you ask? Robots are valuable things, Aaliyah. I want to know immediately if anything happens to this one. I hope that's clear. I told you about the message Renber sent. I'm pretty sure it was 6 he was speaking through. I should think it was. Perhaps we should return to the ship now, mistress. Do we still have more to do here? I'm not sure we do. I'll have a wander around, though. The robot I met on the Hermitage Moon, 6. It said something else strange. Yes, mistress. It said a great darkness was coming. What did it mean? I have no idea. Master Renber did not lose his life out here without some cause. Well, that is rather what worries me. Let's have a look around. I find the choice to make the... Oops. The robot you claim to have encountered... Guessing it might have been a recording. Interesting. It was Renber, somehow. Messages such as the Professor sends you are not live connections. The recorded personality states, as am I, mistress. Renber went to a lot of trouble to speak to you, mistress. That's the library, okay. The library, I say. It's weird to me that they didn't bother to, like, the way she moves, the legs go transparent. What's a Robesque foil? You have never seen the internals of a robot, then? I have, but it wasn't labelled. Oh my. A Robesque foil is a small scrap of metal inscribed with enormous detail, like one of your fingerprints. But what's a Robesque foil for? In general, it is for storing information. Think of it as a book with small writing. Can you read it? Very small writing, mistress. What is yours for? I do not know exactly, mistress. I have never tried removing it to see what I lose. Is that the thing that's in... Oh no, that's probably just the top of his body. So I can visit the library. Oops. Aaliyah, tell me, are you still wasting your time on your curious notions of history? History isn't mine. It belongs to everybody. Most of us are decent people, Aaliyah, and do not want it. You should devote yourself to a real science. Metallics, maybe. Loop philosophy. Not now, curator. I'm busy. Huh. Working for the good of our community, I trust. Good faith to you, Aaliyah. May the waters light your way. What an unpleasant man. One does not get anywhere with people like that by replying to them, though. Stop trying to get me to reply to him, video game. I'm not going to do it. It will only end badly. He's clearly, like, important, or at least self-important. If Eox does not believe in history, what is it they think you do? Oh, it's probably, Eox believes in they believe what has happened will happen again. They think I'm out discovering the future. Well, surely that would be more useful. 6. What do you know about the Loop Temple? I know little of the Loop, Mistress. The Loop priests claim that life is a great cycle. They believe that all that has happened will happen before. Oh, an inscription. Give me that. God, the vibration in the controller goes wild! Okay. Right, shines here. That could work as here, because if I'm right about home and I, then it might be that the triangle with the squiggly lines is place, and like the person dot. I can't see that as anything other than a boob, unfortunately. Would be like the indexical. So maybe that's like shines here. Emperor's Light shines here. That will do for now. An Empire period work then. Or older, with the motto etched in later. Look at this thing, 6. Did you know it's the oldest thing on Eox? Or so they say. Obviously it is said to be a sundial, Mistress. Poke it! It's ancient. Older than all the buildings here. Was the sundial made here? Yes, obviously, Mistress. Curiously enough. Why is that curious? It seems to me this sundial could never have worked, Mistress. At least not in this location. No light? I suspect whoever positioned it here did not realize how it was intended to function. So how do you know how the sundial is meant to work? It is apparent from the design, Mistress. A child could comprehend it. Don't sass me. So not only is there a lot of dialogue, it's quite missable as well. Aaliyah, good faith to you. What's this guy's deal? He just said my name. I want to go see the library. Presumably the small clay figurine was made on Maerses then. That seems plausible. Clay being a material derived from waterlogged mud. Don't get sassy. Brought out here by a hermit from Maerse, back in a time when the Maersians were willing to sail. And into the cyclones, no less. Where was the library? The library was this box. I quite like this architecture. I have famously terrible taste in everything, so... what are the Chronicles of Mazwai that Huang's always reading about? I believe Mazwai was a pilgrim sailor. She writes about the various places of the nebula, and about how the Great Loop has acted in these places. Mazwai believes in the Great Loop, then? Mazwai is an original source for the hypothesis, Mistress. As much as anything is a source in the loop, Mistress. Master Huang says the book became common shortly after the establishment of the Holy Empire.
The library is a quiet spot to think, except when Huang's in there, which of course He always is.
Thanks for that. Let's see. How old are these books of yours? Some are really old, but not, not ancient. They date back to the first Empress or so. Let's talk to Huang. Listen, Huang. Do you know anything about an ancient observatory? An observatory? That's interesting. Let me tell you something I heard about Reneki. Reneki? I like that one of the options there was just no. You'll find it on the charts, it's no secret. I know of it, mistress. I was on Reneki recently. I know, me, on a boat. You should have seen me. I turned green. You are never coming on the Nightingale. Thank you, I would rather not. Anyway, on the boat there was a trader called Amadou. He was talking, pretty expansively if you understand me, about something he'd found. He called it... Oh, forget it. You're not interested. Just spit it out. I'm not going to beg. Really, Ilya, why do you have to be so nasty the whole time? Well, this is tense. I'm sorry, Huang. It's just a bad habit. You'd better be careful, Ilya. You know what they say about sailing. It harms the soul. My soul is fine. Now he's being nasty. I won't argue with you. Look, all I wanted to tell you is that I went to a place called Reneki. It doesn't matter why. I overheard a trader called Amadou talking about an observatory. I know you're looking for something like that. That's all. Thanks for the tip, Huang. It might be nothing, but who knows? Good faith to you. I don't want to ask. That's just a stupid question. Why aren't there any books older than the first Empress? I don't know. There just aren't. I suppose they were all lost in the fall. Thanks, Huang. Have you found any artifacts you want me to look at? Have I? Maybe. Quite a few. Let's have a look at the robe. I found this robe. I'm pretty sure it belonged to the last Emperor of Eox, who died under it, under a rough-cut bed on a faraway moon. That's romantic. Well, a little. I've seen this kind of thing before, too. Wait a moment. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. There we go. This is an early Empire shroud. It was found on a splinter in Eagle's Pass. Oh. Never was sure about. Dies were not. It could be like true greatness, I guess. If the links to value and enormous bear out. So something like true greatness never dies, maybe? True greatness never dies? I think that's correct. Do you want me to archive the robe? What else might I use it for? Take it. Good faith to you. I'll be back shortly. Hopefully it's possible for me to get that back. Or at least get access to it again. Oh shit, I wanted to press yes there. This game is called Heaven's Vault, and it is a puzzle slash adventure game, like the basic thing is we're trying to work out an ancient language by finding artifacts and things with inscriptions on. And piecing together the meanings of the words. It's not like a completely different language, it's a script that represents English, but it's quite complicated. So maybe we've let the cat out of the bag by finding the Emperor. Anyway, I need to decide where I actually want to go. I could go to the site for the mural. I've got a hint about Renaki. Or this place. Maybe I'll go here first. And so we left the university. So yeah, we're following the Aaliyah is a historian slash archaeologist, more of an archaeologist really. She's been assigned this robot and is following a trail, following a historical trail. Where we tried to figure out what happened to the first emperor, the last emperor of the nation to which we belong, which is apparently not an empire anymore somehow. Okay. So a lot of it is wandering around various archaeological sites, finding inscriptions, and the rest of it is this sailing mechanic, which is not terribly difficult, but a lot of fun. Also peaceful. Unfortunately, I had to mute the music because I got copyright struck on Sunday, but not Sunday, Saturday. Emperor's Body was an important find for Emma to make, maybe even serious to someone. Imagine if someone was claiming to be the Emperor's loop. Oh. So Remba left a trail for Miari to follow, starting with that brooch. And then he continued on his journey. So Remba found something else on that moon. Possibly. The device missing from the roof, perhaps? It's impossible to tell who's talking here, which... Either of the rivers continues to our destination, mistress. Well, I can see that. 6. Why is Ghost's Wake called that, mistress? They say Ghost's Wake is haunted. You know how, according to the Great Luke, the souls of the dead sail the rivers until they are reborn? Well, the story goes that most of them are asleep. Dreaming of childhood, or lovers, or big meals? I don't know. Oof. Oh. But sometimes they have nightmares, and then they might wake up. Whoa, something's wrong here. Oh no. Something's gone wrong. Oh no, it's okay. Do you believe it, mistress? I find it improbable. I don't suppose it's true. Ghostwake has a lot of narrow winding rivers and thick fog, as can be seen here. It's the sort of place where sailors get lost and come back with crazed stories. That's all. Either route ahead leads to our destination at next junction, mistress. So let's go this way then. God, they really liked control of vibration in this game. This gives me, like, in the best possible way, Skies of Arcadia vibes. Not a big fan of that game, but the flight bits felt good. Had good airships. Six has spotted something. Oh. There's a ruin. Let's see if Six finds anything. This site appears to date from the Eoxian Empire,
The
mistress.
robot hoppered away, and I was alone. Then it came back.
I recovered a charm made of silver. Just floating out there. Look at the craftsmanship. Such tiny details worked in. Looks like there's an inscription on the jewel. The precision required for this. Whoops. Oh. This one is several words. Oops. That's an and squiggle. And does that make sense? Done something wrong. Okay. Right, the myself was wrong. No. It it does actually look like a kind of slightly pop-eyed face as well. So that could be now. Maybe the two circles means time, or indicates time, because never I know is right on the related words with the little X after it. And I think that the 4 diagonal slashes is like multiple or many, so forever would be like many time. And then this could be like now, because the squiggles in the middle there are to do with the self. So it would be like my time or present time. Now and forever. Okay. Are there other unexplored ruins here? Can I actually get to that? I'm not sure. Maybe not. This comes from the same source as the book, the one we found on the hideout moon. This will make it easier to locate. I feel like we're sailing through a cloud. I mean, it does kind of look like that is literally exactly what we're doing. Yes, in fact, Mistress, we are. The particles we can see are ice particles, suspended in what is left of the river here. This is like the coolest space travel mechanic I've seen in a game in a long time. I like it a lot. The path turns left ahead. Also, the travel here is really sluggish, but like on Saturday I went through some rapids and they were rad. It felt properly rollercoasterish. Mistress, there's another shipwreck some distance away on the left. Can I... Whoops, wrong one. What did the text say? Sorry, here it didn't land. It's a bit faster. Whoa, round we go. We can come back for it later. Should turn right. Over there. What if the rivers aren't natural at all? What if they weren't created by storms or magnetic fields or anything like that? That's a lot of rocks. What else could they be? This is an area of less flow, Mistress. That's definitely the spine of a giant creature, isn't it? Those are vertebrae. The sparkles appear to be settled by our passing, Mistress. We are sweeping them away as we sail. There are new waters to the right, but I believe they might take us towards our target. Oh, right is that way, Rebecca. There we go. Where's the debris? I would like to search the debris. There's a thing. Just enough to sail. Oh, it's forcing me to finish this dialogue before it gets to the actual landing event. The rune appears to date from the Empire.
The robot wasted no time.
A dented metal chest decorated with iron studs. Must have come from somewhere close to here. The maker didn't include an inscription on the base. Pity, whatever it once held is gone. Oh, that means I have to go all the way around again. Let's go to that one. See if we spot any others. I don't know what the bloody great flume here is. Whee! Oh wow, that suddenly feels very fast. Why would someone wish to conceal that the last emperor had not been returned to the rivers? Perhaps because someone claims to be the emperor returned? Does anyone claim to be the emperor reborn? Not publicly. But the university, as you know, has its priesthood. Wait, that's probably the robot talking. They allocate power as they see fit. I maybe want to actually take one of these right turns, rather than going all the way around again. Oh great, this game's about academic politics. My favourite. I don't get enough of those in my professional life. Region of minor flow once more, mistress. It's also going to take us to... What's wrong with the river here? The currents in this region are unusually weak. The rivers here are losing their integrity. That sounds alarming. Perhaps that is how the sight from the mural was lost. I think we've found it. Settle the Nightingale 6. Let's take a look around. I'm still not convinced we have in fact found the last emperor.
Of all the sites I travelled to with the robot,
Yes?
most of them seemed lost, abandoned. But this one felt like it had been hidden.
How much further? Not far, mistress. The path turns here. The lanterns are still burning, Six. Are there people here? There is only one living person on this moon, mistress. You. Wait. Trees. Lots of them. Growing from fissures in the rock, mistress. The roots will eventually split the slope below us. This whole site will subside. But someone planted them here. Perhaps. More likely a seed was scattered by the wind and took root by chance. What's that? It's an inscription! Let's solve some more language. I I know one of these words. I'll guess the rest. But they look like they're at least a bit related to each other. I think maybe like the dead linger forever? Could be if that's to remain. I wish I'd found more words that had the like 2 commas to the left and 1 to the right, because I know that the squiggly comma, you can see the water symbol. Those tend to be like elements or natural phenomena. I'm not sure if this would be a verb phrase. Dead linger forever? But I've no idea what it means. Did something terrible happen here? A massacre? A plague? Is this place a hospital? It's a really pretty location. I like this location a lot. And it looks like it might have lots of inscriptions for me if I can get in the door. By all the awakened waters, this could have been built yesterday. There's something worked into the stone, beneath the ivy. This is the start of a fragment of text. Whoops. I believe you're correct with dead. Okay, that nails that one down. Garden of the Dead, maybe? Or temple? I don't think it needs to be temple because like the triangle, I'm going to call that an upside down ice cream cone. The ice cream cone is like place, and the pilgrim character in the thing that makes the first word there pilgrim, i.e. the religious connotation, is the last pair of characters. I'll try garden. Garden of Dead. A graveyard? It must have been for important people. The main gate. The ancients never had the foresight to leave their doors unlocked. Can I see anything? Some kind of courtyard. A horned statue. Watching over the dead. But we can't get in. No keyhole? So how did people get in? An interesting question, mistress. There must be a way through, Six. Naturally, mistress. There is a hopper eye inside the courtyard. If I may. Go ahead. Wait, mistress. And pop.
The wind died.
We're intact? I believe so, mistress.
The smell of flowers flooded the misty air.
This place is a graveyard, I think. Why was it mapped in that hermitage where Rempa died? Well, we'll find out. There's something under the ivy here. That's the Eagle and Sun. This is an Empire period ruin. About 1,000 years more recent than we thought. And there's another inscription along the edge. It's fractured. That looks like Emperor. Yep. Oh, that's not the word for linger. Okay. So what does this say? Long live the Emperor, maybe? This is an Emperor's garden? It could be. An intact Empire Site 6. Everything on Eox was rebuilt after the fall. But this place was never destroyed. We must assume it was never found. This place is a graveyard connected to the Empire. A graveyard of emperors, perhaps? This must have been a stray seed once, nothing more. Now look at it. It'll bring the whole place down in the end. The same fate will eventually overtake this place, mistress. Perhaps we'd finish our explorations here before that happens? Don't sass me, robot. This whole place is incredible. It's perfect. It seems quite apparent. It is almost 500 years old. And we've got doors. Stuck. But then again, a tree has demolished the corridor beyond. The tree is a creature like any other, mistress. Slow, but ultimately self-interested. And this one's locked. There might be a key somewhere. That is a ridiculous idea, mistress. Why would anyone lock a door if they intended to leave the key laying around nearby? Perhaps they were absent-minded. My door's locked, my key is right here. 12 feet from the door. I don't know if I have to report this nonsense to Professor Miyari. Shut up. I can't think why they keep giving me robots. Every time I break or lose one, they give me another. It's like they're trying to get rid of them. The university cares for your well-being, mistress. Let's smell the roses. No, no voice acting for that. There can't be that many more robots left. There were a few hundred in my cohort. And how many cohorts are there? I am unsure. I have some connection with my cohort, but nothing beyond that. At any rate, we would always all appreciate it if you took more care of your robots. That's the way out, I think. Robots are stupid, that's the problem. They run well up to a point. Then they throw themselves over a cliff, which, yes... It's usually always been the robot's fault. That's diplomatic choice of wording. This statue looks like it's in a familiar style. Can we inspect it? No, we can just pester the robot more. If this place is a graveyard, what does that make you, goddess? I've got it. She's a death goddess, that seems likely. Welcoming people to the afterlife. And she's much older than everything else here, is she? How'd you figure that? Is that a fucking, like, fire alarm bell up there? Why is God discovering her eye? Sadness, 6. It's a thing people feel about death, but you probably wouldn't understand. It's hard to understand old symbols without their context, and this goddess is much older than the rest of this site. This is the bridge we saw from below. Mistress, a warning. I believe the running water has compromised the stonework of the bridge. Compromised? It feels solid to me. Don't. That's bad. Let's come back to the bridge. This place is hardly collapsing, 6. The constant action of water is highly disruptive. This robot can be spiky. Oh, that's my ship. Oh, some kind of painting! Mostly worn away. Almost all worn away. I can't get anything from it. What do you make of it, 6? There really was a lot of writing here once, Mistress. A whole chronicle, perhaps. But I believe some characters can still be seen. Oh, that's a long string. Impossible? Try me. Maybe I have to come back to that one later. I came from that direction. Let's go here. We can get through here. That's enough. To the glass house. Oh wow. Is that a tree sticking out of the roof? It's amazing this place is still standing. It looks like a jungle in there. A very warm and moist environment, so fuck all the preserved inside. Stuck. Probably rusty. Why is every door in this place stuck? Because it's hydrated and therefore it's rusted. Back here, and no, that's where we came from. This way. What's this? There's something here. A copper sextant, dating from at least the earliest days of the Empire. And there's an inscribed message on the casing. This one is a fractured fragment from an even longer phrase. So that could be home. It's just that translation is clearly incorrect. There must be another phrasing. Interesting. Sail for home? That would fit with toward, wouldn't it? Which means I think that this comes from somewhere that's undocumented. Interesting. So I think the overall picture here is that the Empire fell, and there's been a some of the cutscene, the conversation triggers are a bit weird. This is a problem when you try to design this much dialogue into a game. Let's not press the robot further. We'll try the bridge and see if we die. Whoop. Have you broken a bone, mistress? If your ankle is damaged, you will not be able to jump back. I'm intact. Which is more than can be said for the bridge. I don't think I can jump back. I'm still breathless. The moon has plenty of oxygen. Take your time to recover. I will do so. Wait for me, Six. Mistress. If I cannot reach you, I cannot hopper you to safety. It's okay, I've got stuff to do on this side of the bridge.
Stone markers huddled together,
Ah, it's the actual
whispering
graveyard.
nasty things about me.
Like the one behind the Hermitage where Rember died. They are. Do any of them have statues in? There's so many of these markers. This might have once been inscribed, but it's been worn smooth. Something in the corner. It's a gate. This one's buried. I need a machete to find any inscriptions. Locked or stuck, maybe. I love all these fountains working perfectly 500 years on. This one's in better condition. Still legibly carved. What have we got? Oh, that's another long one. There's a few words in this one. What can I see? And... good. Okay. Rest here and... That could be a time thing. It probably is time related. Got no idea about this one though. Rest here and... That could be something else. How did I get forgot? Can't be forgot. Can it be returned? Maybe? I don't think so. Rest here and return soon. There's loot to those who die. Return. I suppose that's what these people believed. A stone setting. Either someone was making preparations when this place was abandoned, or the shrine that stood there was removed. Interesting. There's more water here than I've ever seen. Enough water for Elbereth 3 times over. Is there any way to transport water? The wellspring must be up there somewhere. Where does all the water go? Guess that answers the fountains question. Locked. Anyway, 6 would hate me going out that way. There's nothing but sky down there. This one isn't carved at all, but there's something inside the niche at the front. A chipped golden pendant in the shape of a leaf. I think it dates from the Holy Empire. Look there. It's small, but there's an eagle and sun motif. I found an inscription on the clasp. It hurts my eyes to try and read it. Oh. Broken fragment, an even longer phrase. Can I add metro station to art? Good, I'm glad to get that one confirmed. Oh, it must be I will never leave here, I guess. I will never leave here. That is the sort of thing one would say on a grave, I suppose, if one was feeling morose. Check all the statues. This one seems to be made of older stone than the others. The first gravestone to be placed here, perhaps. What's that thing on top of it? And there's something up here. A hoop of metal. I wonder if there was once one of these on top of the shrine we found on the last Emperor's hideout in the Cyclones. Heavy, but perhaps not as heavy as I'd expected. There are symbols inscribed on it. End of a broken fragment of text. This doesn't feel right. Oh, yeah, okay. So you probably could do this by, like, trial and error. What have we got here? This must be speak. It's the only thing that makes grammatical sense there. I speak for... Is it? Yeah, it makes sense that that's speak because the prey character is this character plus holy. So that makes sense as speak, and the double comma on the left, single on the right, I think indicates a verb phrase. So what about this? I speak for... wind? It can't be wind. That wouldn't fit with the pattern of any of the other elements. but I'll put wind in for now. I speak for wind. That's a huge area. Wow. What is this thing? Is this some kind of recording device? I feel sure I've seen something like this before somewhere. We might be able to trace where it's from. This one's worn smooth. What about the big one? There are niches in all of these markers. They're empty. Looted or left that way? How about this one? Ah, the inscription on this one is readable. Okay, let's have a look at it. What do we got? That could be us. Is that return? Towards us? That's a lot of glyphs, but I'm sure it translates as return. Cool. It's not water. Return towards us. Safely or quickly? Broken steps over there. They don't look very safe anymore. Indeed they don't. What about these steps though? This one's set apart from the others. And it's inscribed. Okay. End of a fractured fragment of text. So it probably doesn't end with an and sign then. Here will sail. Doesn't feel right. So here is wrong in this case. Okay. I will sail. Again could be time and, couldn't it? Because that squiggle there at the end is and the double circle is to do with time. So it could be like another time. Could still change my mind, but I will sail again. A sailor's grave? Sounds more like the words of a child. It's nice to be away from the robot for a change. But by the waters, the air must be getting thinner. This doesn't look massively frighteningly precarious.
The wind was strong up here. It wanted to grab you by the waist and chuck you down the cliff.
No handrails either. Emperors must have stood here, gazing across the nebula, tracing every stream like the lines on a palm. How much more of the nebula is like this? Stone markers. These two seem... It's weird that the stone markers are in better condition where they're more exposed to the wind. Ouch. What was that? Let's see if... By the rivers? Six can't reach me here. Why do you do this to yourself, Alia? Why do you put yourself in these situations? Steady now. Breathe, slowly. I'm dizzy, that's all. Stay back from the edge, maybe. Some kind of static charge? But it's a rock, isn't it? Either way, I should stop touching it, whatever it is, and I can't go any further. I don't know what I'm hoping for here. Nothing. This one's a rock just like the others. Can I place the metal hoop? This shrine is charged, and the hoop certainly fits. And as for you, you've come a long way to be here. Let's see if it was worth the trip for you, goddess. And then... Whoa! Have I been asleep? Sorry, okay, voice of a child. That's right, you've been asleep. Don't be scared. Everything will be alright. I can't see you. It's so very dark. Why can't I see you? Tell me where you think you are. The orangery, of course. Where is Elfa? She screamed. She screamed? I couldn't see her. She was behind my chair. If you see her, tell her she must never scream. I can't feel my legs. Tell me your name. You don't know my name? I will have you killed. Just tell me who you are. My name is Kaya. Was there an explosion? I can hear, but I can't see. My brother was to take me to the Withering Palace. What is the Withering Palace? Where is it? The Palace of Mechanicals. You would not understand. Have I been asleep? The power's gone. Fascinating. Take the hoop as well, if I can. It's now safe to touch. I can't get anywhere near the waterfall. Mistress. There you are, Mistress. How did you get across the river? Lovely. 6. I spoke to a ghost. I put this hoop I found on a plinth buzzing with static, and a face appeared. It spoke to me. Curious. What did it say? It mentioned a place called the Withering Palace. I have not heard that name before, Mistress. And yet... What? The name fills me with dread. Time to go, mistress. Yes, I think it is. I think it's time to go see Oroi. A curious place, mistress. So much water. If we could ship it, you would be very rich. We could make Elbereth bloom. Maybe I could tell someone about the place. That whole moon, Six. It must have once been filled with voices like Kayet. A head atop every shrine, all talking, arguing, laughing. That place was a haven, and now you could hear a pebble drop. From the marker outside the Hermitage of Rimberdite, I still don't know what it's made of. Let's start sailing. Mistress, we are receiving a message. It is from Professor Miari. Put her through. I was not awaiting permission, mistress. Aaliyah, where are you? Professor, what can we do for you? This isn't a social call. I wanted to let you know we're having a celebration for Renber here at the university. You don't have to attend, but I thought you'd let you know. You want me to come? I think it might be good for your soul, and I think your soul needs all the help it can get. Come home, Aaliyah, right away. That is all she sent, mistress. Okay, then, let's go home. This was exclusive. Curious stories found artifacts in the same place. What the site might have been. I still don't have enough to find the site yet. Okay. Zoom in. I don't know if I can get to this ruin. Okay, so it will let me go to that one. Also, there's a lot of on chart, so that's interesting. Part of this is going to be charting all the extra stuff. This game is actually huge for an indie game. I am impressed. Also sleepy. The garden moon was a most curious find, mistress. The Holy Empire was founded on a belief in rebirth. They believed in the loop. Graveyards were unnecessary. We will need to turn right shortly, mistress. Perhaps some did not believe in the loop. Humans, I have observed, are fickle. Whee! Whoops, where are we? Can you sail 6? Whee! Do you know how? I believe so, mistress. It seems a straightforward matter. The river carries us forward. It is only a question of using the sails to adjust. So easy? Indeed. Have we got anything? The structure is barely intact, mistress. There's nothing here to find. Boo! Oh, I guess the ones that clear, the dots that disappear when I click within this region are like possible sites for the thing that we already found. So I'm supposed to go to Eox first. It looks like I basically have to go via Eox to get to Elbereth, so... one quicker than the other. Left route, I think, is probably going to be quicker. I've had this conversation before. Okay. Oh dear. I'm suddenly very sleepy. Path goes right momentarily, does it? Oh, there, I see, yes. Mistress, is something the matter? I am detecting certain elevated emotional markers. Like what? Shortness of tone, mistress. Lack of compromise. Markers. You're a robot, 6. I don't need to be nice to you. I'm trying to be nice. I actually like the amount of range of expression the dialogue prompts give. And we're back to Eox. interesting, the funeral rites in this culture. What do you think, Six? I believe they are just beginning, mistress. We're not too late, then. I believe our timing to be perfect, mistress. Aaliyah, quickly! Miari was waiting for you to arrive. We weren't sure you really were coming. Thanks, Huang. I will wait here, mistress. Try not to rust. I will lick myself clean, mistress. This way, Aaliyah. Janiki was a great believer in the Great Loop. Everyone here believes in the loop. It's understandable. No one wants to just die. Don't you have faith in anything? My faith is my own. This place doesn't own it. Quiet now. Try to keep your head bowed. Here she comes. Friends, colleagues, brothers and sisters, thank you for coming. Today we gather to recommend our brother Janiki Renba to the waters. Who's the lady? I don't recognize her. I think that's Renba's mother. I wondered if you knew her. She's from Elbereth. There's a lot of people in Elbereth, Huang. Of course, sorry. Janiki Renba was our friend, our brother, our teacher. For some, a confidant, for others, an inspiration. He left us too soon, but we trust he will be returned. Renba often travelled to Elbereth to see his family. He was like you in that way. I don't have any family. I never even knew my mother. Never. There are a lot of orphans on Elbereth. Perhaps when I grow up I'll understand why. My mother was a carpenter. She made a lot of the chairs in this place. She's pretty proud of me. Janiki's departure is a deep loss to the university. His work here has changed our little community more than most of you may know, but it is his absence, however brief, that will be truly felt. She really believes this. Of course, what do you believe?
Mayari paused a moment and then emptied something out of the hourglass.
So Renba begins another journey around the loop. As we remember him, so he sails the rivers above. What did Miari pour into the river? Renba's ashes. Really? Of course. From the water, they'll wash out to the stars. But of course, we don't have Renba's body, so it
The
can't be.
people began to sing. The words were weird and old.
Yeah, this scene would probably be better if I could have the
sound
in-game
drifted
musical.
up and away into the nebula. Maybe Renba could hear us. Maybe not. Didn't matter. It was beautiful anyway.
Yeah, that's a sequence that definitely you need the game music on for. Those that are gone will return. Those that return will depart.
The chanting died away. There were echoes. Then they were gone too.
Friends, thank you for coming. Janiki will be grateful for your support.
The people began to murmur, then to talk.
That's good faith. Good faith. Good faith to you. You're Janiki's mother? They think he's coming back. I can't understand it. They believe different things here on Eox. But I don't understand it either. My son was one of them. In the end, he was happy here. Did you know my boy? I didn't know him well. Well, thank you for coming. But I can't believe he's gone. For his heart to stop so young. Aaliyah, I suppose you met Annette. Mr. Celestia is one of our most gifted thinkers. Please, I'd like to just spend some time with my boy. I barely saw him when he was alive. I need that information. He didn't visit Elbereth. Not for years. His work was so important to him. Please. That's interesting. That was a lovely eulogy. It was barely sufficient, but thank you. And thank you for coming. I know you are skeptical of the Great Loop. He believed, so here I am. He would appreciate that. Rembo was from Elbereth? Indeed. Did you think you were the only shining jewel from the mine? He never mentioned it. Did you ever speak to him? I doubt you did. You said Rembo went to Elbereth frequently, but his mother said she hadn't seen him there for years. Maybe he was going somewhere else. He always said he was going to Elbereth. Interesting. Anyway, I'm done. Let's go get the robot. Can I not? Aaliyah, my dear, come see me in my office if you want to. Alright. So you were really dug out of a wall on Eox? I believe I was removed from a wall. The exact events are hazy. Six? How long were you buried here? I have no idea, mistress. I do not remember it. And you don't know why you were buried? No, mistress. I can only assume I was not needed. Perhaps robots were not trusted. Perhaps, mistress. Though I have observed robots to be both more predictable and more kind than most humans. Don't sass me. So were you off while you were buried on Eox? Asleep? Is that why you can't remember it? I do not know, mistress. I cannot remember. Aaliyah, I wanted to thank you for coming to the service. His mother appreciated having another Alberethian there. His mother seemed to think he died here, on Eox. What did you tell her? I told her he had an accident with his equipment. I didn't tell her that her son had disappeared off into the depths of the nebula. She would worry for his soul, Aaliyah, if you can understand that. Of course. That was thoughtful of you. Thank you. It wears on me all the same. Something caught your attention, Aaliyah? Apologies, Professor. I didn't mean to be rude. You want my job now, do you? Trust me, you don't. Anything else to say to her? Professor, you must have known why Rembo was exploring the nebula. I did know, at first, anyway. I'm sorry I didn't tell you earlier. But... Yes? You're not the easiest person to talk to about my beliefs. They were Renbo's beliefs too, you know. I accept your beliefs. I might not agree, but I accept that you believe them. You understand the loop, Alia, even if you deny it. You understand that everything which happens will happen again. Everything which happens has happened before. I can't understand how you could be so sure. You sound so sure. We live in a nebula built from loops and cycles, day and night, birth and death, present and past. We are the breath of the nebula. This is all common sense. Children understand this. Not everything is a cycle. Knowledge isn't. Knowledge increases. Precisely, until knowledge is lost. The fall, Alia. Renbo was looking into the fall. Eox fell, Alia. The Empire collapsed. Our protectorate is the Empire of old, and the fall will come again. And if we are not ready for it, we will not survive it. And Renbo was investigating the fall? That's correct. Renbo found something inside one of his robots. Found what? I don't know. The robot told him something. Set him to digging up something on a moon near Elbereth. He hired labourers from the Elbereth markets to do the work. And then I heard nothing until he sent me that brooch. But the robot knew about the fall. The robots know everything. That's what Renbo told me. Or his echo did, on the moon with the crown. What do you want me to do? The fall is coming, Alia, faster than we think. Find the observatory, whatever it is. Find out and then come and tell me. Why didn't you tell me what Renbo was doing earlier? Why did you keep it secret? Alia, I've always treated you as warmly as I'm allowed to, you know that. Allowed by whom? As Six would say, we all have our primary users. Oh, whoops, I don't want to ask about the crown. Is the university flourishing? I think so, Alia. Perhaps one day you'll spend a bit more time here and see for yourself. What's over here? You have more books than Huang. Those books are not his, nor are these ones mine. Is there a copy of Maswai here? Of course. You know Maswai was a sailor and a scholar. Like me, you mean? Perhaps. Perhaps you'll write a book before the fall comes again, Alia. Perhaps not. Bye! Do you believe in Mistress? Do you believe in the loop? What do you think? I have no data, Mistress. Should we leave now, Mistress? Let's go. So interesting, all this stuff on and around Elbereth. And I wanted to go to Elbereth anyway to show the metal loop to the friend who knows about tech stuff. Off we go. The company's called Inkle. I don't know much about them. I saw this game reviewed a couple of years ago, and it sounded interesting, and put it on my wish list. And after I played La Milano, which is a game about exploring ruins and putting together hints, I wanted more of the same, but with less combat. Because I was very, very bad at the combat in La Milano, and ended up cheating quite a lot. Oh, is this another one of those giant spine? Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's just rocks. So how did you end up in a hole on Eox? I have no idea, mistress. God, this game's pretty when it's pretty. Look at that view. Right-hand path. I do not know when I was buried or what I had done to deserve it. Professor Miyari assures me it is part of the loop. That's what this ship's design reminds me of. It's in Mario 64, in the cave level that has the metal cap secret in. Deep down is like there's like a lake with a plesiosaur in
They
it.
say on Iox that the rivers flow with the souls of the dead. Anything to scare you to the ground.
Gonna be a big loop here. Whee! Whoops. Perhaps robots are a naturally occurring mineral. Maybe there are robots inside all the moons of the nebula waiting to be mined. That seems unlikely. Why does this path have so many forks in it that I have to check? Let's go left here. Maybe moons are robot eggs. That seems a rather fanciful suggestion. If Renbo was hiring labourers from Elbereth, then the lady who runs the market there should remember him. Can't be many Ioxians hiring workers from her. What market, mistress? Set us down, 6.
We landed in the dust outside the great walls of Elbereth. No one looked up to watch us arrive. The people here only ever look down.
So this is Elbereth. This was your home. This is my home. I have seen little but Eox, mistress. This is not like there. The Cat Kiss Gate. That's the way up to the inner citadel. That's a foot. Something something fetish joke. Original statue must have been huge. Follow me, Six.
The smell of the slums made me feel like a child again. It hadn't been a happy time. A simple one, at least.
Do not touch anything, mistress. The instructions might topple at the slightest knock. It's all more solid than it looks. Godspeed has been standing for some time.
The heart of the God's Feet slum was Timor's bar.
Why now, Aaliyah Elasra?
Timor had never once set foot inside the upper citadel, or so he liked to claim.
By the turning of the waters, you're back. Just for a little while. Then I'm happy you stopped by.
He was the king of the dung heap.
And are you well? Well enough. Now then, the rules are the rules. Your friend there stays outside. I will wait as instructed, mistress. Huh. I didn't argue that time. He usually argues. It's not the same robot as last time. You lost another one? They must adore you on Iox to keep giving you those things. Oh, they don't like robots. Ha! Could be, could be. Do you know where I can find Oroi? Up in the cat kiss. She's moved up in the world. She must be doing well for herself. Both of you are. It's a miracle to behold. Not so much, not anymore. It's sad for me to see. I feel like a father to you both. She never comes down here anymore. You two were inseparable once. I caught you stealing my raka cask when you were too small to carry it, let alone drink any. Oroi picked the lock with a hairpin. The things that the girl could do if she put her mind to it. Your friend by the door there should be afraid of her. I found a moon pouring in water, water cascading down a mountain, water in rivers, water bubbling in fountains. Sounds like a paradise. It was a graveyard. The water that comes from the dead is not for drinking, Aaliyah. Bartenders know about this kind of thing. You don't understand how much water there was. The whole population of the nebula couldn't drink all the water there was. So there was water for the taking, was there? If there was any way to take it. Every problem is an opportunity, just as every stranger is a friend they haven't met yet. Where was it? In Ghost's Wake. But you don't sail, do you? Me? I have a bar to run. Your very good health. You should let me pay for this. You'll pay me back one day. I feel sure of that.
They say raka is made from river water, that it burns your throat with the cold of space. But it isn't true. Seymour knocks it up out back in an old metal bin.
How about some good news then? I have something for you. A shattered effigy. It looks like it dates from the early Empire. The base has been etched with glyphs. Ooh. This is the start of a fragment of text. Whoops. No. Well... I've done something wrong. Yeah, I thought the god was probably wrong. I think again must be right. Temples will... So there's a definite sense of movement in it, right? The double comma, I think, means at the start means a verb phrase, and the squiggle is like it appears in sail and toward, which both clearly got directions involved. That I think is holy place, so it must be temples. Temples will prosper again, open again. Let's try prosper. Temples will prosper again. I should get Huang's opinion on that when we get back to the university. Most likely this comes from the same source as the container, the one I found on the site of Renba's cache. Where did you get the shattered effigy? From one of my customers. You're not the only one who sails to strange shores, you know. Now, drink
He
up.
liked me. I had my first taste of rocker when I was 8. I didn't pay for it that time either.
Not this time. Wait, wrong. Do you know anything about my parents, Timor? I sometimes think if anybody would, it would be you. Aaliyah, the first I heard of you was when I asked the orphanage for grape pickers. You were so desperate to get out of that place. And then you hid when the Grey Ladies came to get you. I remember. You kept hiring me, though. Of course I did. You'd hear my voice down the corridor and come cling to my leg. I could hardly leave you behind. I always had my bag packed, you know, in case it was a longer trip. Your time came, in the end. I was so happy when Miari found me. I'm glad that worked out. Wait, that was you? Do you know Professor Miari? I do not know her, but I was at the orphanage when she was. She was, I don't know, inspecting. She happened to ask if any of the children were remarkable, so I pointed you out. What was she doing on Elbereth anyway, I wonder? That's easy. She was looking for someone. And that someone was you. One day I'll ask her about it. When I'm ready. You visiting the Catkiss today? Not sure yet. Look at you. The freedom of the two worlds. You should be our ambassador. I think it's time to go and find Oroi. Be seeing you, Timo. Don't be a stranger. Come on, Six. I want to pay a visit to Oroi. Why do people live like this, on top of each other? I think that was probably rude to ask, Six. Why do you think? They're squashed in, to get as much juice out of them as possible. I like the touch that all the architecture has the ramps in, because of the robots. It's one of the oldest things on Elbereth. It still works, amazingly. I cannot see the eye, mistress. Without a line of sight to the eye, I cannot take us inside. We Elberethians know how to use it. You just say the word. What is the word, mistress? Cat kiss. We're now somewhat higher up than we were. Of course we are. We're inside the citadel. This is the main courtyard. There are alleys leading off in every direction. It's easy to get lost up here. I wonder how carefully they've prevented the player getting lost. This gate's been locked as long as I remember. I think the key must have been lost somewhere. Oroi and I used to climb over it. To Tappy's shop, okay.
To strangers, the cat kiss is like a maze. But I'd spent 10 years tearing through these alleyways. I could have found my way to Tappy's in the dark.
Tappy's place isn't big, but inside it's a treasure trove. Whoop. Hold it. Oh. But it's you. Welcome back to Elbereth, Moonflower. Give it back, Tappy, whatever it is you took. I confess I only really saw the robot, but friends, as you know, are friends. So have your no doubt precious brooch back. Mistress, do not trust this man. Angry robot! Coming from you? My little spy on wheels? Dearest Aaliyah, one of these days you must find yourself a companion that you like. Now come on in out of the cold. It seems as though I will wait.
Tappy's place was a little museum to junk. Pots and boxes, spoons and hooks and pocket knives.
It's so good to see you back on Elbereth, Aaliyah. The rivers above grow dull when you're not with us.
And at the centre of it all was Tappy, grinning away like a skull in a bodysuit.
And are you well? I am never dull. Listen, Tappy. Do I want to show him an artifact? Who buys all this stuff of yours? Respectable people. And a few Elbereth rats, too. You don't know any respectable people. No, maybe not, but they know me. How is business? It never booms. Somehow we all get by. Is there a way for me to see? Um, is there a way to see what artifacts I'm carrying? Are you happy with that robot of you? Are you blah, blah, blah. You're not touching it. Anyway, bear it in mind, Leah. I think I'm not here for him. See you later, Tappy. Don't be a stranger to us now. I want to see Oroi before we go. Very good, mistress. That's the gate. And in here. Oroi's yard is this way. You're going to love it. I do not think I like it.
On Elbereth, you could buy anything for any purpose.
Mistress? What is this lady selling? It's a work market. Workers? Just keep your head down, Six. I cannot do that, mistress. I am unable to close my eyes. I cannot be here, mistress. What's the problem? My ethical core is programmed against suffering. It does not differentiate by economic status. There's nothing you can do, Six. I am compelled to expend a considerable number of cycles verifying that before I can simply accept it, mistress. Just stay quiet. Try not to attract too much attention. Let's keep moving.
Oroi was my oldest friend. We'd grown up in the orphanage together. But I had left Elbereth and she had stayed.
I have no ideas what these things do. I was always playing around with magnets and wires and things. I wonder how business is going. The arms tray looks pretty empty. There's an answering clatter from behind the door. What do we do now? Now we wait for Oroi to finish whatever she's doing in there, and come and see who we are. Alright, what do you want? Oh, it's you. Oroi. So? You're here to dump another broken robot on me? I don't have anything to sell you. No. No, you don't. What do you want, Aaliyah? I was having a good day.
We'd been friends. Once.
Oof. I found a strange metal hoop. A hologram came out of it. Let me see. I recognized it immediately, of course, an egg from a robot. But it won't do anything without a core. I need something to project. Last thing I noticed is it's badly made. Robots are beautifully, delicately crafted machines. This is an Empire period copy. Oops. Did you ever fix that robot I sold you? No. Whatever it lost out there, it was really gone. I ended up borrowing a few internals for my collection. Disgusting. How's your family? My son is fine. My daughter... that's another story. Uh-oh. What's happened to your daughter? My daughter thinks she is in love. That does happen, Oroi. She's a child, Aaliyah. How old is she now? You know perfectly well how old she is, and she's not old enough. How's business? Slow enough. Oof. That was rough. Where should I go next? That was not very informative. Me? I don't see any other Farwet here. And you brought a Miyamaka with you. A robot here. It's not for sale. Ha. I wouldn't take your Miyamaka if you left it here in a basket. Why would I? Then we have nothing to discuss. Who are you to bring a Miyamaka down here? What good are the metal things to anyone? Perhaps you're hoping to start a riot? I don't want an argument with you. Then get off my moon and take that thing with you. Peace, trader. We'll be gone soon enough. Be sure that you are. Your kind won't be happy until only the Miyamaka can eat. Go in peace, and leave me alone. Shall we leave now? Yes. Presumably that's the woman who could give us information about Janiki hiring workers. I need to pick somewhere to go next. I wonder how many different noun phrases there are that he can say he's going to ready when we set off. So there's the Withering Palace, which I don't want to be like trying to find yet because it's going to take ages to do that. I could go to Renaki. Let's do that. Nice long sail to finish the session off with. And then it will be time for me to stop and do something else before I nod off on stream. So, what do we know? Janiki. Let's see. So, are robots capable of hope? Certainly. We calculate odds, of course. But even the most unlikely outcomes must always eventually occur. That is not true. Hope is a mathematical certainty. That is also not true. I like that. It's a comforting thought, but it's not true. The mathematics does not care whether you like it or not, mistress. The route leads straight ahead. Oh, I don't need to read that out, surely. Look out there, Six. Evidently it is indeed beautiful, mistress. It's extremely pretty.
The Ranaka Reach is famous for smashing boats to splinters. The Ranakans are said to make their boats from solid iron.
Whee! By the wind. Whoops. I like how we're getting the entering Renaka Reach dialogue way before we're anywhere near it. Oh, can we stop for it? Maybe we can. Check all the shipwrecks. They might have inscriptions. The wreck here appears to date from ancient times, mistress. This should only take a few moments. I recovered a red scrap of a flag. I wonder how long it's been out there. No embroidered glyphs. they've done a really good job of filling the empty spaces with the transitional passages of play with dialogue.
No one knows how far the rivers go. No one's ever mapped them. Not even the robots. Or, if they did, they aren't telling.
There's a nice touch of smugness in the VA there. Isn't that a lot to manage? There are no threats at present. This no doubt eases the situation. That's still in the conversation about how many moons there are. You sound like you don't approve of the Protectorate. Ah, wrong way around. I'm neither for nor against it in principle, mistress. Although it does not appear sustainable. A leftover from the Empire? Indeed, mistress. The Arxen Guard is an increasingly minor force. Let's launch a revolution. Mistress is most droll. Oh man, the sunset colours are making me really sleepy now. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Come on, come on, come on, come on. What's that? Up ahead. Oh, is this the one I passed on the way to Maerzi? I will investigate. A compass? Ooh, found one with an inscription. Yay! It's a phrase run together. Okay. We've got a 4 there. Pray for something. So it's a person and something to do with I think the two reverse S squiggles are like sailing. Sailors is the word that makes sense. Okay. Oh, there's a thing though. Oh, hang on. If I go that way, It might be a big detour. Well, I guess we're going that way then. A wreck. Ancient shipwreck. Cool. Oh, telescope. Roads, maybe? Okay, that can't be roads. Let's try something. Okay. So that's like a place of light. I think I established that the three things like the rays of the sun are light. Sky, God. Could that be watches? Stars? Blessing for safe passage, perhaps. Where am I going? I can't get back to that one. Starting to be really interested, as I always get with games with kind of weird narrative puzzle games. What a speedrun of this would look like. Stop trying to get me to go to the Withering Palace.
For the longest time, Mayari didn't know about the Nightingale.
Oh, that's an interesting
I would
detail.
hitch lifts with robot couriers to Elbereth, then slip away to play aboard the ship. Until one day, when Oroi reckoned she could figure out how to launch it. And of course, I didn't know how to stop. I pretty much crashed into the dock on Iox.
Whoops. Oh, that's twisty. By the goddess and all her fingers is a good curse. Whee! And what do the moons get out of being in the Protectorate? Theoretically, the support of the Eoxian Guard. But that is largely historical. Okay.
We came to Ranaka like thieves, hoppering ourselves into a narrow alley between high blank walls.
Sneaky. Sounds busy out there. I would estimate the local population to be around 12,000. The odds of finding one man here are, therefore, pathetic. I won't give up before we start. I am merely stating the obvious. This way. Which I think we will do next time. Thank you for the company, and hope to see you again. Good night.